This is Virgil Wilson representing for RawHollywood.com, and I'm in New York City for the season 6 premiere of Logos, RuPaul's Drag Race. Come meet some of the queens with me. What's going on? This is your boy Virgil Wilson for RawHollywood.com, and I'm in New York City for the RuPaul's Drag Race season 6 premiere. Yes, season 6. And I'm standing next to April Carrion. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited to be here.
Very excited. Now, how was it being on the show, season 6, after 5 previous successful seasons?
It's thrilling, it's a thrilling experience. It's really exciting just to be part of the history that's RuPaul, taking drag out of the club, out of like nightclubs and taboo areas, and, bringing into a public eye. And so people and families can enjoy it. It's like really, I'm embracing every minute of it.
Right. Now, were you kind of nervous, being on, this show with RuPaul, like one of the legends in the drag community?
Definitely. Who wouldn't be? Like, I have to surpass the limits that's placed into half of me, and, I need to win the crown for Puerto Rico, so it's a lot of pressure for that. Yeah.
Right. Now, what's the one thing that you learned throughout your whole season on the show?
There isn't a right way to do anything. Right. I think that's because I met so many queens from all over the states, and they do such, they do the same thing I do, but so differently. So I don't know. I think everything's okay as long as you're confident with it.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Now, do you have any from the past seasons of the show? Do you have a favorite queen or queens that you like?
I mean, I live for my Puerto Rican legend, Nina Flowers, because she's a legend. And I also love Raven, Raja, Chanel. I mean, yeah, and Carmen. I mean, I live for Carmen. Who doesn't, right?
We love Carmen, right?
Yes, who doesn't?
Well, I thank you for talking to Raw Hollywood.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
This is Virgil for RawHollywood.com once again, and I'm standing next to the beautiful Vivacious. How are you?
Hi, darling. How are you, Virgil? How's everything?
Fabulous. At this amazing event for RuPaul's Drag Race Season 6.
Yes, darling. Season 6.
Yes. How long have you been in the drag community?
I've been in the drag community for about 21 years.
21 years.
Yes.
So you've been able to see the evolution of drag.
I have seen the evolution of the club scene.
Okay.
Because in New York, drag isn't about one style, it's everything.
Right.
There is no one look. So I've seen it all.
Okay. Now on the show, how was it meeting RuPaul?
RuPaul is my mentor. So to know that in 1991 when I did Supermodel, 1992 when I did Supermodel in college, to then millions years later to meet her in person, it's like meeting Michael at the Holy Gate, because she's always been my mentor in terms of how I model my life.
Right. Now, is there anything that you can, not secrets, but any juice that you can give me that happened during the season?
A woman cannot give anything away, honey. Those lawyers behind me will rack us up. You will be out of business before I see the first season.
Okay, well, can I say this? Can you just tell us that it'll be very entertaining?
It'll be very entertaining. You will be gagging in the season. Yes.
Gagging, yes. Now, is there anything, since you've been in the drag game for so long, is there anything new that you learned?
Yes. I've learned that within the last 6 years, drag has updated itself to a very more editorial look. So you have to follow in tow. But it also allows you to try to hone and perfect the newness of what's going on.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to see where this experience takes me.
Now, what's that one thing, when it's time for you to get into your character, what's that one thing that you just can't live without? Is it lipstick, your lashes? What's that one thing that really brings it all together for you?
Honey, without my titties, I'm not a lady. So if I take those things off, or, the hair, I don't feel together at all.
Okay.
Very incomplete.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we wish you very much luck, and we hope you win this season.
We shall see, darling. I might have to take a few girls out, and it's not going to be on a date.
This is Virgil once again in New York City for the season premiere party of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 6. And I'm standing next to Michelle Visage. How are you?
I'm good, baby. How are you?
Good. Now, how is this season different than all the past 5 seasons?
Well, every season's different. I mean, you have different queens, there's different elements, but this season, I think what most stands out is how strong it is. Right out of the box, the competitors are really strong. There's nobody that you turn around and go, I'm not so sure. Like, they're all really strong. Equal, like level playing ground.
Okay. Now, is there any, do you have a favorite? Like somebody that you're rooting for?
You know, I always fall in love. First of all, I love all of them, and I cannot pick a favorite. It's like saying that I love one of my children more than the other. But there's always a few that I feel like right away can go the distance. Like I can see it, and I'm always right. So I'm never wrong.
Now, when it comes to picking these girls and kind of molding them to be the drag superstar, what does it take? Like,
well, it takes a lot, but most importantly for me, it takes confidence. Because if you're out there and everybody else will look at you and judge you and see what you're wearing, if you sell it, I'm going to buy it. And I feel that way about my aesthetic. I'm cheap. It takes a lot of money to look this cheap. And it's all about confidence and how you sell it. And if I believe it, you're going to believe it.
Exactly.
So if I'm walking out there like this, you're going to go, that bitch is fierce. You know what I mean? But if you're out there like, I'm not going to buy it.
Now, I found out that Logo has just greenlit a 7th season. How do you guys feel about that?
Well, excited because it's another paycheck. I can feed my children for another year. It's actually really great because the more we do it, the more drag goes global, goes mainstream, the more acceptance, the more love, and that's what it's really all about.
And speaking of acceptance and love, how has Drag Race helped not just the drag community, but the gay community to have a voice?
Well, I mean, first of all, drag is a little niche of the gay community, and it's always the one that had it the hardest. Trans and drag always had it the hardest because not only were they gay, they were assigned a wrong gender at birth, or they dress up like women for a living. And for me, what it does is show that we're not freaks, but we're artists. And it shows people in the mainstream that there's nothing to be afraid of and that we're all the same. We all bleed the same, eat the same, sleep the same. So I think it's a fantastic thing for the gay community.
Thank you. Well, on behalf of the gay community, I thank you because as a straight woman, it's great to see other straight people support us the way you guys do. So I thank you.
Well, no need to thank me. It's in my blood. It's what I do, and it's a passion of mine. So I walk the walk with you guys, you know? I fight the fight, I walk the walk. I don't just talk it, I walk it. So we're in it together.
Thank you. Now, what can we expect? I know you can't give us no behind-the-scenes details, but what can we expect this season?
I think you can expect a lot of shade. I am extremely bitchy this season. It just happened that way, you know. Right out the box, episode 1, it comes out. I just can't help it.
I don't think you're bitchy. I think that you come from a loving parent. You're just trying to help to mold them into the best that they can be.
Yes, but behind the scenes, I was bitchy. It is what it is. But I'm not sorry. So it seems the bitchier I am, the more the kids love it. So I amp it up for them.
Well, thank you. It was great talking to you. Thank you.
Sweetie. I'll see you soon.
This is Gia Gunn representing for Season 6 of RuPaul's Drag Race. How are you?
Good. How are you, honey?
Good. Now, this is, how long have you been doing drag?
I think I'm going on my 4th year now. So I am a baby queen, but I like to call myself a clean baby queen.
And why is that?
Well, because I think I've definitely have mastered my craft in the very few years that I have studied drag. And I always give a clean look, and I think I look polished. And it's not really about the amount of years that you've been doing drag. It's more about if it's for you or if it's not.
Right. Now, Season 6, there's been 5 successful seasons of this show. Were you nervous going on to the show?
You know what? Like anything else in life, a new experience is always nerve-wracking. But at the same time, such a big thing as Drag Race, you just go with the head on, and you really don't know what to expect. I really try to not let my nerves get the best of me, simply because if you do, I think that can definitely not work in your favor. And it's not good to just get so worked up over things as that. You know, you just have to go with the flow, try your hardest, expect the worst, but hope for the best, if that makes sense.
Now, what was the most difficult challenge out of all the challenges?
The most difficult challenge was when I had to play a comedy queen, which is something that I'm totally not, and just total opposite of the caliber and my aesthetic. It was the most challenging, but it was also the most fun because it made me be able to get outside of the box, and as well as be able to show myself that I can transform into a different type of drag.
Now, what was your best challenge?
The best challenge, I would say, I would have to say probably the acting challenge. Yeah, we did a little something where you all see.
You can't tell us, right?
Kind of scary, but you know.
Now, what have you learned between all the before the show and on the show?
So, after the show and while being on the show?
Before you came to the show and on the show, like overall, like what have you learned about drag?
What have I learned overall about drag? Mm-hmm. What I've learned all over about drag is just simply to stay true to yourself, put your money where your mouth is, work hard, pay for your shit, have quality things, and don't take any shortcuts. Believe in yourself, throw down when you do your shows because we all want entertainment. Don't be fucking boring. Use a gimmick, throw hair, be fishy, don't be a man, and we'll all be great.
Right. Now, from a scale to 1 to 10, rate the shade of season 6.
The shade. Probably like 13.4.
It's always over, right?
13.4 now, season 6. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thank you for speaking with Raw Hollywood.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Gia Gunn. Mwah.